Yeah, you put it in the pocket. Yeah, we have it.
I'm so cold, it's not even pretty.
What's that?
Not that it would have been.
Pink lemonade.
You need to sign the sheet that you're here.
Yeah, once Bert and we're done, you'll have to go up there and sign it. I'll sign it over again. You two have to
I
sign it.
haven't signed it either.
You signed there yet?
I didn't know we had to sign in.
So what am I?
You just have to have him raise his right hand, and you just have to stand beside him and make sure that he.
Have you signed it?
I have.
Just raise it.
Yeah.
And you have your balance on your left foot.
Who needs this, Katie?
These two back here.
Yeah.
Before we start
Thank you.
with the cameras on and all, please tell me that the real name of that grinder at the sewage lagoons is not a muffin monster.
Hey, at least I didn't put it on the agenda like that.
A muffin monster, for real?
Repair of grinder at Lagoons.
Manufacturer has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Monster.
Hey, at least I didn't put it on the agenda like that, because nobody would have understood it like that.
You might have had more public here saying.
We might have had a room full of people to see what was, that really was.
Do I bring it?
No. Should not take it out.
Okay, I think it's time.
Well, I guess he's.
This will be a meeting of the town of
Well, you're gonna
Hennessey
open the public hearing first. 'Cause
Board
there's
of
a public hearing.
Trustees. Okay. Well, that was next on the agenda.
Well, yeah, we
That's
usually do
even
it as
before
part-
roll call.
We usually do it as part of our meeting. Can we do
That's
that?
fine, yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Call roll first?
No.
No. Okay, the meeting of the Hennessey Town Board of Trustees, this will be a public hearing for the CDBG grant.
I have something to read. The town of Hennessey is applying for a federal grant from US HUD called the Community Development Block Grant for funding to correct stormwater drainage issues in town. So if you remember what we did last time in close, we're now doing phase 2 of that. And it's extending, I don't know the names of the streets. So I know it's going down towards the school.
Mitchell?
Mitchell?
Mhm.
Well, okay, it's gonna go,
Fourth, Fifth,
it's gonna go from Fifth down Mitchell to Oklahoma. It's gonna extend out east of Oklahoma and Mitchell a little ways.
okay.
And then we have also included a little bit of oak,
Yes.
1 block of oak, because we needed to add a little bit. So we've
Okay.
included that a little bit,
Yes.
so.
So the town of Hennessey is gonna request $300,000 in CDBG funding. The proposed activities are not likely to result in any residential displacement. The primary purpose of the CDBG program is the development of urban communities by providing decent housing and a suitable living environment, particularly for persons of low to moderate incomes, and this project will benefit low to moderate income level citizens in that area. Do you guys have any questions?
No?
Rock and roll. That's it. Easy peasy.
Any public got any questions? Barb? We're gonna channel all that water to your driveway.
Just like I'm
Good. Out of my driveway. Not in it.
Okay.
That's it we need to go.
Okay.
Maybe I'll ask one question. How much is the grant?
We're applying for 300,000, and then the town is gonna put in 149,000.
Okay.
Yep, so the grand total is 449,350. So 300 for construction from CDBG and 149,350 from the town.
And that could be in-kind contribution, or it has to be cash, I guess?
It'll be cash.
It'll be cash.
Okay, item 2 is oath of office. Are you sure you're ready for this?
I'm ready.
Good. Good for you. Who's administering that? Katie?
Raise your right hand
Okay.
and read the pledge.
I,
Did your hand?
David Jones, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma, and that I will not knowingly receive directly or indirectly any money or other valuable thing for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office, other than the compensation allowed by law. I further swear that I will faithfully discharge my duties as trustee to the best of my ability.
So now he signs the form?
Yep, you're good.
Yes, moment.
I need to make sure. I didn't want to mess that up. I'm going to put O on there,
Okay.
because there's more than one of us here.
Say old?
Extremely old. Thank you, Kate.
You're welcome.
Welcome, David.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Glad to be here.
Okay, roll call, please.
David,
Here.
Cliff,
Here.
Bert,
Here.
Harold,
Here.
Richard.
Here.
Okay. Report from Hennessey United Board.
We didn't meet last month because of the weathers. I don't have anything to you.
Okay, consider approval.
Can I ask something?
Sure, absolutely.
And I don't know if, well, never mind. No,
Good
never
asking
mind.
now.
Yeah, you got our
You can't see us hanging.
curiosity's going on now.
Come on, Tiffany, you can do it.
Let's take bets.
She's turning red, isn't it?
No, I think Bert's gonna bring it up to the Hennessey United later. So I was just, it just hit me in. The whole thing about the Hennessey United maybe doing the
Yeah.
for, you know, working, being
Right.
the
We
leader
didn't
of
meet, we
the,
didn't meet last month, but I have it on my agenda to tell Kathy, yes.
okay,
Okay. I'm glad you two know what you're talking about.
I sort of.
okay.
I've slept since then, I guess. Okay, consider approval of consent agenda, minutes of February meetings, approval of claims as follows. February purchase orders, $5,066.46. March purchase orders, $15,780.27. March restricted sales tax fund, $29,907.59. March library fund, $489.87. March street and alley fund, $3,044.15. And accept the following reports: treasurer, library, and police. Are there any additions or corrections to anything on the consent agenda?
If not, I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call?
Cliff,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Okay, citizens' comments. Anybody? Town administrators report, Tiffany?
Everything that I have on my report is pretty much going to be handled in the meeting. The only thing that I have additional is that I would like to make a shout out to the town workers for the working overnight. The other night, it was freezing cold and they were out working on the water line. They had a water main break the other day. They were trying to fix a small leak that turned out to be a huge leak, and so we had to shut it off due to, you know, trying to restrict, or trying to keep water on during the day hours. They agreed to work night, and it was freezing cold. By the time they finished it up, they had wrenches sticking to their hands, frozen to their hands and everything. So I really want to shout out to them for working in the temperatures.
Absolutely.
So they are real troopers. So I just want to make a shot out to the
Yeah.
owner.
Thank you.
So
I concur. Is that it?
that's,
No, short. Okay. All right, other scheduled business. Discuss, approve, deny, reject, and/or take action on the following. Discussion and action to approve all final invoices for REAP Grant KF 21-2.
the final payout, we've only made one other payout on the REAP. This is our, the first one we paid out, it was back before Christmas, and then we have this one. The first one was $48,867, and then this one's 87.
The 48 was covered by refunds.
Yes.
Yep.
So,
I'm sorry, what, 48 was what?
The first payment was covered with the REAP grant
Yes.
funds, and so there's 16,000, a little over 16,000 left. That'll cover part of this invoice.
Okay, thank you.
and then the rest will come out of town funds. So. And they did damage you'll see a negative $1,200. They did damage someone's sewer line. And so we are going to take it out of this contract and reimburse the local citizen for the damage of the sewer lines. So the town will reimburse out of this contract, so.
So it's done.
It's done. Completely.
I make a motion for the final invoice for the REAP grant, number KF 21-2, of a total of $87,434.24 to be paid.
Second.
Roll call.
Cliff,
Yes?
Harold,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Item B is discussion and action to accept the REAP Grant KF 21-2 as complete and sign the affidavit for completion form.
This is just,
Just formality,
yes,
right?
yeah, to accept the project as complete.
Okay. We got that, or
Make a motion to accept the REAP grant, number KF 21-2, as complete and sign the affidavit of completion form.
second? Roll call?
Harold,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Item C is discussion and action to pass a resolution making application to the Oklahoma Department of Commerce for Community Development Block Grant.
So we had the public hearing before, letting you know that we, the Cdbg, we went to apply for the $300,000 to do the drainage project with the town putting in the 149. This is the resolution to apply for the grant.
The town is 140,
149,
149,
950 on that or something.
350.
350.
yeah.
350?
Yep. But the resolution is just that you're gonna apply for the grant and follow the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion to apply for the REAP grant and apply to the rules.
If you can just
You're gonna approve the
approve
resolution.
the resolution.
Okay, I approve the resolution.
We have a resolution
Sorry.
number.
Did you get a resolution number?
maybe look over.
Hang on, I think we need the resolution
Tiffany,
number.
where we're getting the 149,000 out of curiosity?
So how do we
It'll
word
come out of the
this?
street fund.
Just approve
Yes.
resolution number, whatever she gives you.
That's the one that has the designated sales tax at 0.5% or something,
A quarter.
quarter.
Yeah.
Silence my phone.
Cliff, that resolution number is 2021-07.
2022?
Yes, sorry.
2022-01.
2022-01. Welcome to the new year. It's already March.
Make a motion to approve the resolution number 2022-01 for the block grant.
Second.
Roll call?
Cliff,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Okay, item D is discussion and action to adopt the Citizens Participation Plan for the CDBG grant.
So this is just like we've done in the past, it's a template that, since the grant is for the public, that's what HUD wants, is public recognition on this, then it has things in there that we will make sure we have public hearings, that they will know about it, so we will post it at least 7 days before, so they have time to set their schedule to attend. If anybody needs translation, we will provide that. If there's any grievances on the project, then they have to provide that in writing, and the town will have 15 days to address that need.
Okay,
I assume these are all coming down from the federal government, or?
All comes from, yes,
Yep, that's what makes the project even cost more too.
yes, because they have so many requirements that increase the cost.
State government of Oklahoma's pretty good about making regulations too.
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt the Citizen Participation Plan for the CDBG grant.
second, roll call?
Harold,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Okay, item E is discussion and action to determine leverage and sign forms and support letter for the CDBG grant.
And this just goes down to the budget, the cost estimate that we got from the engineer and how we can split the funds up. And so, we need to put on there that the town is putting in that $149,350 and that the funds are available.
So,
Jennifer, how many of these community block grants does NODA approve each year,
Do we apply for, or do we get awarded?
awarded?
It varies. There was 1 year, when I first started, we were only getting 2. And then after, when I realized it's a points game and not just a bleeding heart, then we started to increase that a little bit more. I think we had 5 to 6 1 year. We've kind of been getting that level. This year, I'm not sure because they kind of changed a few things on the scoring sheet, and so it'll just be interesting. They increased the cost of how much you can ask for, so it'll be interesting to see what gets what project, who gets funded.
Well, you raised an interesting point of how many towns apply for a CDBG grant over the
Right,
years.
right. I will, I invite at least 15 entities that may already qualify or are so close they just need to do an income survey. And some apply with a third-party grant administrator, not through NODA. And so at least they're applying, which is great. But then some just don't apply. So there's people that I think have and had success with it, try to go for it a lot of times, like Hennessey. So it varies, but like right now, I think there's a lot on the community revitalization. I only have 2 for the water wastewater this year. I think some people are waiting to see what the ARPA does and then see what project they want.
Do you award them by categories or?
Yes, there's 3 different categories that we funded. There's a CDBG REAP that goes to one entity that went to Helena this year. And then community revitalization, that was at the end of February. End of March is community revitalization, which is everything that's not water or sewer. And then water or sewer is due by the first part of May.
Could you give an example of revitalization?
Revitalization would be the stormwater drainage, street resurfacing. If you did your electrical system, you can apply for electrical upgrades, and then your gas system, you can apply for gas upgrades, those kind of things.
Water system?
Water system will be in the water sewer. Yeah, anything that is not water sewer would be community revitalization.
That's mostly where we have applied for, is community
Is
revitalization.
it? Yeah, the last one I did was my first with you, so is that where most of yours is?
Yeah.
Has there been a CDBG grant that we've not applied for in the last several years?
Because you guys were using Millie Vance for a while, so I
Yeah.
don't know what you guys have done with her.
And I remember once we didn't apply because we hadn't closed the previous grant. Was that a REAP or CDBG?
No, that was, last year we weren't able to because we closed like right.
Right
Right,
at the time.
right, yeah, there's a time frame. So your stuff is good for 2 years. And so, you get close to that, and you have to have it closed by December or January 31st in order to apply in the next cycle, and we didn't have it closed then, so.
Does it hurt Hennessey because, in your scoring system the federal government has because, for the previous grant we got?
It can, yes, because the last 2 years, they put in their category of previous grants and the length of time. That used to not be in there, so we never held accountable to that, but the last 2 years they have. And so you guys hadn't applied for one in a while, so we were really good on that category. This year, we actually got 0 because it's been less than a year since we've closed the other grant, so.
Okay. So I make a motion that the town will provide leverage funds in the amount of $149,350 for the CDBG grant, and that funds are available.
I second that.
Roll call?
Bert,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Okay, item F is discussion and action to approve the mayor and clerk to sign all CDBG grant application documents.
The last bit of documents don't necessarily need board approval, but because you're signing them, I just want to make sure the public knows. We have debarment information, so your sam.gov registration has to be active, which just means that you've registered with the government to let them know that you're a company in good standing, they've checked your record, and you are. You have to keep that active every year. That's how you're allowed to get federal money. So NOTAs and ours are in there. There's a standard form that HUD has us fill out that will be asking for $300,000, and then there's a W-9 form. That's the last bit of the forms that have to be signed.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the mayor and the clerk sign all CDBG grants, application, and documents.
Second.
Roll call?
Cliff,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, can we sign those? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. We should have,
Can you ask for ID though?
we should have passed this around instead of.
Spread
we
the
have
love.
signed it all,
I
yeah.
know, every year they
There's-
hit you. So this is for our REAP. This is
Mhm.
the affidavit that says we're done, so you just need to sign there. I could date everything for you if you just sign.
You've got Bird on here, which is not my legal name.
I know.
Is that okay?
That's okay. This is more for my file at state, so they won't care. Federal.
Dated today?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, this is to, we're requesting the last of REAP funds. You'll sign here.
Okay.
This is so I can get the funds coming.
This table creaks when you're writing, have you
Mhm.
noticed that? Okay.
11.
Philippines.
Stamp.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, Tiffany, she said I need a stamp.
Stamp, no.
We did get stamp.
Some towns have that. I mean, this is signing the pay request. I used Katie's today. It's here.
And you just made
So
me
now, we're
all
gonna
of those
CDBGs and
numbers.
everything is doubled.
That's on my desk.
Here's the resolution, just sign there.
I forgot about that. Did you sign them all already? Yes. You get paid.
You're gonna sign.
I did all your other work.
I asked if there was any POs needed to do.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I bet you there's a lot of unsigned ones in those invoices. But we'll have to, yeah.
Because I signed some last time I was here.
Tiffany, is this repair gonna be like to close the ditch or just make the ditches bigger?
Right now, I think it's an open ditch.
It's open.
Is it open?
And then there's a lot of culverts that need to be replaced. I'll date it or you can anyway. Save some time.
Increase our point. You always do that, I know.
Well, Jennifer, she did scorings. And so
Were you impressed?
Yeah.
Okay, I did it to impress him. It's
And
just,
so then I was like, hold on, we're losing out some money here. So
they
I was
they
like,
flopped the score, so normally the more money you ask for, the less points you get. This year they flipped it.
They flipped
And
it.
so if you ask for the max at 300,000, they're giving you 10 points. Before that used to be 0. But then when you get to the leverage, they still want that dollar for dollar to where you get more points. So that's why she chose to do what she did to make it kind of increase our points.
Well, I know Tiffany always manipulated the grants to get us that grant.
Yeah.
well, we were losing out money.
Yeah.
At one point, we were putting in, I mean, we were losing.
When you brought that down to put in more money, it actually dropped your points down. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, we're losing some money
Okay,
here.
so that's one set.
That's one set. That should have been
I'm
asked.
so glad you're here
I'm the
today.
favorite person every year for this paperwork. Oh, sorry, right there.
We'll start calling you Radar.
Michael and Brian's
That's okay, that's a
going,
compliment.
we gotta find some more work.
He was.
He was Johnny on the spot.
Jennifer's like,
Take care of.
I need that back in like 2 days.
Last night he had his elevator shoes on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they were Johnny on the spot.
Oh, yeah, from the engineer? I know, I was like, look, we got stuff going on, I need to know these numbers.
And
Sometimes I feel like they drag their feet a little. But they could be busy, you know, I say that, I don't know.
oh, they
what-
have like
I don't know what their workload is.
4 projects for us, so,
I'm not co-signing for you a new car.
No, you are not.
and that's just for Hennessey, so I can imagine what they have.
Have you
Well,
seen one in the past?
I mean, then everybody else they service, like I know they're in Okarchi and
That's the kind.
they're helping the town of Loyal.
Oh,
Loyal's got an
they
ion
have.
exchange plant. Oh my God, that's just like a mess. They have a hospital in it.
They don't really, no. They never learn what up
Ooh.
the bank.
2 more left.
What's she doing?
Just double check.
Double check and make sure she didn't.
That one there.
Get them out of the way, that's what. Was it?
What's the word decide to do about
That's it,
getting
right there, last one.
business?
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear.
We're kind of just holding off right now.
So
The school's letting their coffers kind
Thank you.
of build up a little bit more
We
and.
appreciate your assistance.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Around
I
the
love
school
helping.
doesn't really.
I'll keep you
qualify
organized
for
on paper,
grant
that's for
money.
sure.
Okay. All right, item G is discussion with possible action to approve contract with Howdy Truck Stop to install water, sewer, street infrastructure for future tax rebate agreement once installation is complete.
I've given you guys this, agreement. I just got it this afternoon at like 3 o'clock. The attorney's been working on it.
Ours or theirs?
Ours.
Okay.
And so I have sent it off to the owner of Howdy Travel Plaza. I thought he might come tonight, he was talking about it. And I tried to call him today to let him know it was on, that I had emailed it to him. There's only one change to it. On page 3, and I've emailed John Wynn too to have him change this. Under Howdy's obligations, A, where it says to engineer, plan, and design, that needs to be moved to the town's obligation. Or the authority's obligation, sorry. Because we are actually planning, engineering, planning, and designing, and getting the state's approval. So that has to go under number 2. So I've emailed him back and asked him to move that.
So is it true it's gonna run from over there, go all the way around the town, and then into the lagoon? Is that how it's gonna go, or
What do you mean?
when it's hooked up to the sewer?
Yeah, okay. It goes down to the lift station and then goes, yeah.
And west, east.
Is there gonna be, this is probably the wrong question to ask, and probably the wrong time to do it, but to go west?
We would have to install,
Have sewer lines installed to go
Yes.
west.
and we would have to install another lift station. Because our lines are not deep enough
That's what
around
we ran over.
Arapahoe.
That's what we ran over there.
So we would have to put in another lift station. But with that lift station, our lines are deep enough to go right there.
Tiffany, Ringwood did a similar deal like this.
Yes,
Did-
this is based off of Ringwood.
So that was my next question.
Now, what this does is, and we can have a special meeting if you guys wanna look through this, since I just got this afternoon. But what this does is this says that we are planning and designing, our engineers are gonna design it, we're gonna get it DEQ approved. They will install it to our approval. Then, once they start bringing in taxes, we will reimburse them every quarter their tax amount. They will give us tax statements. And their local taxes, their Hennessey taxes, we will reimburse them quarterly. The lesser of the amount, up to the lesser the amount of
Is it a percentage to?
this cost, this $508,422, or the cost of what it cost them to put it in.
Is it a percentage that we're giving back? We're giving back 100%? Okay. At one time, I thought
We talked about
doing
doing-
90% or,
Yes.
okay. Was that part of negotiating with them, or how did?
I mean, I think to the towns and to his, just to get it paid off, I think it would probably, I mean, what do you guys think? I
Be
mean,
advantageous to,
to just go ahead and get it, yeah.
Question. Since I'm female, I don't read maps. Where is the street involved? Where will we pave? Because it says street on there.
Main Street,
So,
It's like going out to the vet.
If you're going out to the vet,
yeah. Oh, we're gonna pave that
that little
road,
section.
and they're gonna reimburse us for that. Okay.
no, we're not paving it,
They're-
they are
they're
paving it.
They're paving it.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought, but it said street in there, and that was what was confusing me.
They're paving it,
Okay,
and we're going to reimburse them the cost of all of that.
And you said that you got this back from the lawyer?
yes, okay.
Tiffany, I personally, I would like to have a special meeting and vote on this after the corrections are made in the contract.
I agree. It's such a major deal. I think.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that way we,
I just got it back at 3 o'clock and I
I
noticed that, and
understand.
so
Sure.
I emailed it back to him.
wasn't much you could do at that point, yeah,
No.
I jinxed
yeah.
myself.
It'll give you more time to go through it also.
Well, I read through it and I found that,
Yeah.
and so I was like, that's a big deal, so.
Yeah, it is a big deal, and everybody else on board
Oh,
with
yeah,
that,
you bet.
do a special meeting once the,
And I will tell
once the
you,
contract's
I
corrected.
was really, I mean, to me, this really needed to be done. Like, once, you know, because we were all in agreement with it, you know, but he really wants something in writing, because he doesn't, he needs something for his banker.
Right.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's gonna be a lot of money,
$500,000, that's.
yeah.
He
not
needs
cheap.
something in writing signed by the town board for his banker, so.
Sure, I get that, okay. Well, I think it would just be better for all parties concerned to have a revised, corrected contract.
When do you think we should turn this around pretty quick, don't you think?
I think so, what do you think?
Let me
When
see
we get it?
when I can
When
get
we
it from John, you know, I don't know about weather tomorrow, even if,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I don't know if John will be in the office tomorrow with what's coming in tonight, I don't know. Let
Okay.
me see when I can get that, and then I will.
Yeah, why don't you just ask John to get on it as soon as he can,
Okay,
and then let us know. I will be out of town next week,
all next
But-
week?
yes,
Okay,
but
I'll be gone Friday,
four of you can
Next
do it.
Friday?
next Friday,
okay.
and I'll be gone 10
So they
days.
cancel. Get canceled.
So, anyway. Okay,
So, I mean, but the rest, everything that I've explained to you guys are all okay with?
yes,
Okay. If you read through it and you find anything, please read through it and let me know if you see anything you don't like,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah, that will give us time to read it word for word and make sure that we understand what we're looking at.
Okay.
Have you had any feedback from anybody of the businesses in town? I haven't, nobody's talked to me, so I didn't know if anybody's talked to anybody.
Nope.
So are we gonna pay them for the road that they put in, or are we going to deduct that from the money? that
We don't
they owe us?
deduct
Pardon?
anything, we don't deduct anything. So they will pay sales tax to the state,
Yes,
then the state gives us
right.
money. He will, give us what he reports to the state, and then every quarter, we would reimburse them what they paid, the local taxes that they paid to the state.
And this is for water and sewer, no, not
This would
road.
be for
And road.
for
And
what
road.
it costs for them to put
And
in
road.
the water
Right.
lines, the
Yeah,
sewer
yeah.
lines, and
Street.
the street.
Okay.
But those would all be owned by the city.
I didn't see something in there though, if they go out of business,
It's in here.
it is in there.
Mhm.
Okay. I guess
Yeah,
I did
It
look,
is in there.
I just kind of glanced over it really quick.
Yeah, it talks about it in there.
Okay.
So.
Okay,
That's a good point, Cliff.
Well, it's tough times, I mean, you know,
It talks about it.
it's really hard to get help.
We may not have any, they may not have any gas to sell the way things are developing.
Because it talks about insurance and then it talks about,
I just didn't want the baker to come back on us when they closed.
no, absolutely.
Where's this $500,000 at?
Well, I don't think the town would be liable for the 500,000 because we're not signing the note for that. Right, so,
But since the banker is taking this for $500,000, he might say, hey, you know, I don't know, I'm not that much of a legal guy, but.
it says that quarterly payments shall continue until the actual cost of construct the pipeline extension or $508,422 or $508,422 has been paid in full to Howdy, or the project or project site has been sold by Howdy, whichever event occurs first.
What number is that, or what page is that?
It's 3B
Thank you.
on page 4.
I got you.
Tiffany, any
thank you.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Yes.
estimate
Thank
on
you,
how long
Jennifer.
it would take to pay that off?
How much business are they gonna have?
I don't know, I mean, is it gonna be 20 years, or 5 years?
With what they're telling me,
Have you ever met the guy? Oh, what, 1,100 new trucks a day? That he, or 1,100 trucks?
from what he's telling me, I'm thinking about 4 years,
Wow.
5 years maybe.
He's done his homework when it comes to figuring out the, how many people's come through here and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to borrow his homework to get a stoplight.
He's got a pretty awesome traffic count.
Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion on the Howdy contract?
And we're tabling this, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, item H is discussion and possible action to approve the employee handbook.
So I emailed you guys out the attorney's changes. And so I have went through and I put the changes in here, except for if he like proposed a change or asked a question. And so if I could just take a few moments of your time and ask you guys just a few questions. And then I'll ask you guys if you have any further questions. I should have marked these. When it comes to drug and alcohol use, he wanted to know about medical marijuana. Do we want to be more specific on medical marijuana?
What number is that?
It's on page 10.
Because in there, the legal use of prescribed drugs is permitted on the job only if it does not impair an employee's ability to perform essential functions of the job. So, but above that, you know, because you can't be under the influence of alcohol or illegal drugs. But
if a
the
doctor
legal
prescribes
it.
marijuana, according to this, they could use that at work.
Yes. So, he's asking, do we want to be more specific about medical marijuana?
I think you would, because OSHA would be coming in, and that's federal, and legal marijuana is not recognized.
We're not, since we don't have any ODOT employees, we're not under the OSHA.
We're under Oklahoma Department of Labor.
Yes.
But my thoughts on this are, the way I understand it, and maybe Eric can correct me because he's had way more drug training than I, but.
You lived in the 60s. You lived in the 60s.
I mean, the effects of using marijuana on the job would be pretty much the same effects of using alcohol, correct? I mean, it could cause an impairment.
Yeah, marijuana's not what it used to be. It's in the 90s, whatever it wasn't what it is now. There's so many chemicals and stuff in it, it impairs you. I mean, I've talked to people who can't even put together a sentence, you know what I mean? So, and if you do that, there's no way. Here, look at it this way. For me, would you want a police officer smoking marijuana while he's working and carrying a gun and all that stuff?
Not particularly.
No, yeah.
Well, and I'm thinking of our outside workers operating
Running
heavy
equipment.
machinery, and
There has to be some kind of liability in that, you would think, because,
absolutely.
I mean, for me, yes, I don't know why you would be able to have that prescription, but using it, it'd be no different than a controlled substance. You shouldn't be able to use it while you're working.
But how
So
do
we
you,
need to talk about.
It's hard to prove when they did or didn't use it.
that's what they, how do you know when he did it? I could get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and take you, he had to come to work at 8 to be on him.
And that's the trouble we're finding in law enforcement. It's
I mean,
hard to
the
prove
old-
when somebody did
The
it.
oil field, that's, you know, if you detect it in the oil field at all, you're on off, you know.
Tiffany, this is there's so many legal pitfalls in this. Did the attorney suggest some language?
No, he didn't. He just said, do you want to be more specific on use of marijuana?
Well, I think I would.
I do too. I
So yes.
think medical
And I will
marijuana
ask
should be
him for language.
excluded
I
from,
think some language should
prescription
at
drugs.
least protect the town from the lawsuit.
absolutely, I agree.
To have a basis to fight back on.
Okay, I will ask him for language. How about that?
Okay,
Okay,
You're talking about language to eliminate medical marijuana for our workers while they're working.
correct.
Outstanding.
Okay.
It's no different than alcohol. If you get caught driving and you're under the influence of marijuana, even though you have medical marijuana card, you're still driving under the influence.
Right.
Or anything else controlled, any controlled substance.
Do we even have a drug policy? I mean, do we even require employees? to
We
take
don't have a
test?
drug testing policy, no.
I mean, with marijuana, it's so hard to prove when somebody did it, it's just.
Drug testing, I've been told by people that, yes, you can, no, you can't. Yes, you can, no, you can't. Because some say you have to have safety-sensitive positions.
to drug test. Well, many of our positions are safety sensitive.
The ones that they say are the safety-sensitive are the ones, the DOT.
Because I'm thinking about, let's use an example, the leak we had the other night. We've got people down in a hole and
But they're not
somebody with an excavator
considered
above them.
Officially safety-sensitive positions.
Seriously.
Correct.
That doesn't.
Think about an employee at home on call. I know we've got several employees on call. They're sitting at home smoking or taking gummies. Aaron made a very good point a minute ago. His first sentence that came out of his mouth, he was talking about marijuana is not what it used to be. And it's easy for people that don't use marijuana to not understand that. Marijuana is probably 400 times stronger now than it was back in the 70s or the 80s. And it doesn't take hardly any consumption to cause a person to not be able to operate a track hoe or a backhoe or a bush hog.
Oh, I agree with you, and when people say safety sensitive, my first reaction to them was, well, yeah, we've got people who run backhoes and all of that, and they're like,
Yeah.
No, they're
Who
not
is they?
safety.
Who is telling you that?
The attorneys,
The attorneys?
yes.
Interesting.
That
I
is
mean, I
interesting.
did, remember that class
Big
that
time.
I went to a class with that open on
Big
and
time.
Yeah,
learned
yeah.
all this stuff, and I was
Agree.
blown away by it.
Yeah.
I just can't believe our society is ready to turn people loose at work with medical marijuana. I just can't believe it.
Anybody who answers the phone, a dispatcher would, I mean,
Well,
you're
yeah,
dealing with somebody's life.
Exactly.
you know?
I can't even do it.
What? and maybe I don't even want to know the answer to this question. Can we legally keep them from using, since it's a prescription now?
Well,
And
I
I say
will-
the word prescription very loosely,
Yeah.
because
I don't
I've
know.
not tried this.
I don't know how you
It's my
stop it.
It's my
Here's-
understanding you can get the prescription on the internet for like $50.
See, that's like this is kinda like the COVID shot,
It depends on-
you know, you can mandate as an employer any guidelines you want. You know, that's why a lot of these people are suing places for the COVID shot, because people are saying, hey, you know, if you wanna work for a town of Hennessey, you gotta have a COVID shot. Same way, you know, if you don't want them to take marijuana, you just gotta say that that's part of the deal. You know, or
I
you can
think
force
probably gonna run into, that would, since it does fall under for medicinal use, that would be like telling somebody they couldn't take Oxycontin or something because they're in pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's what it's gonna come down to, because like it or not, it is medicine.
Well, and I don't want somebody on a backhoe or one of your officers
No, yeah,
on
I don't either.
Oxycontin either, and working.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't know how you can tell somebody nowadays, I mean, because you might be in for a lawsuit if you do.
I think to
tell
cover
them-
ourselves for liability, it should
Yeah.
be in here, because if somebody's impaired and hits Brian with the backhoe and he's injured and off work for 6 months, there's gonna be some legal ramifications to that.
Well, I will, talk to John and see what he says, because that's where you've got to get your backing is from your attorneys. Because if you get your
Exactly.
backing from your attorneys, then you're
They're the
okay.
ones that are gonna have to represent us if we
Yes.
get in a bind, absolutely.
Can I have one more question?
Mhm.
What about our insurance? What about our insurance people or folks or company or whatever you want to call them? What would they have to say if we asked them about covering people on the time clock, running equipment impaired by marijuana? And I don't even want an answer to that. I'm just thinking out loud. That might be one path that we could go down to get more informed on the topic.
Yeah, you know, if they're impaired though, if we don't. get
That's
it.
the issue with marijuana. Unless you can physically see it, and
My deal is if you have an accident, you don't take the people involved in the accident and have a drug test, how do you know?
it's always,
It ain't gonna be by word of mouth, I just watched them smoke marijuana. Yeah, but you shared it with me, you know?
it's always been an issue with marijuana about, if somebody's drunk, you can take them out of there to the toxicology, you can have them blow the machine, you'll know if they're drunk. Marijuana, they can stay in your system for a month. That's the issue with testing for marijuana. Or I can pull somebody right now, but there's so many dispensaries and grows and stuff all around this area that it may reek like marijuana in there, but they said, no, I didn't smoke it. How about I prove it if I can't see any different? You know what I mean?
Well, I think having it in the policy would help relieve us from some liability. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Harold, and you too, Aaron, that we don't know. We can't tell if they did or not. But if it says here you can't, then hopefully that liability throws back on them personally and not on the town. Am I barking up the wrong tree with that? I mean, I don't.
But a lot of that though, you know, you might have a guy that don't smoke it, but he was at a party and there was smoking going on, and he could test positive for marijuana or even be high, you know? How do you penalize the guy that's?
I don't think it's capable, that's possible of happening.
What?
The contact high thing's kind of like an old myth.
You know, secondhand smoke, you get high off secondhand smoke.
I don't know, I went to an outdoor concert, it was strong.
Unless you're like really close and it's like a machine blowing it all out for everybody. I mean, if somebody's taking a drag off of a joint or whatever they're smoking,
But
I
wouldn't
would
it
think,
be, wouldn't it be easier to implement a drug policy?
yeah, that's what I agree
Drug
with. That's what I hope you're misunderstanding what I meant by that. I think you're not gonna be able to do it, just don't do it. 'Cause that's the only way to really prove that somebody cannot do it. If they test positive, they shouldn't have had it.
You know, maybe not required to work here, but if there is an accident that, they have to, go get tested.
Tiffany,
Let me ask John about drug testing again.
okay.
Okay.
And going back to the
I have on
point,
here about asking OMAG too.
yeah, I was gonna say, the point David brought up, maybe we check with OML and see,
He said insurance, so I said OMAG.
yeah, but I'm thinking, maybe see what some other cities are doing.
What did OMAG tell us in that meeting, Richard?
Can't remember.
They had it at that one meeting about,
But yeah, we've been through this COVID, you know, they were saying if you think you got COVID, don't come to work and spread it, so, or go to a hospital, no, that's an example, but, so it seems, I agree we need something in this to protect ourselves. I don't know what it is, it's just so really complicated right now.
It is, it's,
I mean, there's a long list of regular drugs that would shock you, that, just like me, I can take some of my heart medicine and it makes me hyper, you know, you know, it makes me wanna go run laps, you know.
nothing makes me.
Okay,
Tiffany, what about who's the attorney with OMAG that put on the class for
Daniel.
it?
Daniel,
Yeah, maybe check with him too, or is that who
Okay.
you're thinking about?
Okay, Daniel,
Okay,
was that
one
that
more.
meeting? Yeah.
one more, on workplace violence prevention, the next page.
bring the fight, bring them to Main Street.
He said, do you want to ban fireworks at work other than for police department?
Firearms?
You said fireworks. I was
Oh, firearms. I was like, fireworks.
Carry fireworks.
Well, you know, sometimes, you know, workplace violence, you know, fireworks, there's fireworks.
Tiffany, I've been smoking weed.
Random drug test.
Oh, goodness. Oh, between
So-
COVID and marijuana.
So
Okay.
what was it? Employees carrying firearms at work, is that what it was?
Do you want to ban firearms at work other than for police department?
I have a pretty strong opinion on that.
I'm just asking you
thinking-
guys what he's asking us.
Wow. My thoughts are if they've got a concealed carry permit,
They got a what?
Concealed carry permit,
Oh, okay.
they're legal to carry.
But you don't have to have that on
So
them.
do you have to have that on one?
But yeah, you really don't. You can do.
Not as long if you open carry.
Open carry.
I don't see, I mean, a lot of the jobs that they do, it wouldn't be very wise to do that anyway, but, yeah.
You got reading meters carry 9mm.
Get a lot fewer complaints.
You wouldn't get very problems.
To me, this kind of piggybacks off what we were just talking about. Think about if we allow employees to smoke medical marijuana at work,
And carry.
then are we gonna let them carry, based on the Second Amendment, their Second Amendment rights? Are we gonna let them carry a handgun while they're under the influence of marijuana at work? It just keeps snowballing, you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, I've gone into a few stores and they have a little sign up, no handguns in the store.
I think if you do that, I mean, if that person forgets they have that gun, they walk to the school, the bank, whatever it is, could be pretty bad for them, because there's a place you cannot carry firearms in, unless you're law enforcement, that's about it.
School property
Yeah.
is definitely one of those.
Right.
Well, and my thing is we're on school property doing work. So I sure hope they don't have firearms on them anyway.
No, that's what I'm saying, it could be a tricky situation if somebody was working on school property and had a firearm.
If the attorney's asking us, seems like this should be his job, that he
Well,
should be able to provide us a recommendation.
I gave him this, and so, I mean, I don't think that was in our previous one. So he's asking us what our thoughts are.
I guess my question about that is, are we possibly putting some of our employees in a bad situation when we don't have to? You know what I mean? To go into a public place like that where they're not allowed to carry a firearm, where they could potentially be in trouble, you know? When,
Well, you're not allowed to in City Hall.
Yeah.
I mean, this building is one of the state prohibited places to carry a firearm.
Dang it, I'm gonna oh man. Good thing I
Better
don't
take
like
off your key
guns.
ring.
well, I'm not saying I'm for, I guess I'm just,
No, I understand. I appreciate your input.
So we have employees that carry guns with them, don't we?
Oh, I don't know.
here's this, I mean, the
I'll
dog,
tell you now that I got one, I carry one with me, but
But you're also law enforcement.
I'm also a reserve too.
Right, yeah.
If they call and need me, I have it with me, I can go.
it's tricky, because, I mean,
Do
like
we have
the-
signs up that say that? Because there are a lot of people in Hennessey who have carry permits. It might be that could,
I wonder if everybody knows they're not supposed to come into town hall with
I don't
one.
that's what I'm.
Or,
You don't have a sign.
If you take the
Right.
I
training,
probably don't know.
if you take the training, they train you that you're not allowed to take your handgun or your weapon, whatever you want to call it, into a government facility.
Right.
State, federal, municipal, county. That's the rule that I go by for my training. Like right now, I don't have my handgun with me right now.
do you
My,
still have to go to training now?
No,
you don't
See,
have
it
to.
maybe that's,
But you
that
can.
can be a problem
Yes.
too.
it can be a
Right.
problem, yeah.
If you're gonna conceal it, you have to go to training still.
That's what I was gonna say, I was gonna piggyback off Aaron again. Anybody that's carrying a handgun, they should know where they can and can't carry, or they shouldn't be carrying it at all.
I agree.
So,
But just like what you just said, though, you also cannot carry a pocket knife into a federal.
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Another good example is the post office. You're not supposed to carry a handgun in the post office. And that's borderline easy to forget.
That's what I was trying to get. I just don't want, I would hate for one of our employees to get put in a bad situation that doesn't have to happen while they're at work, you know? But we also have our animal control guy, driving, he's not
Well,
law enforcement yet.
yeah, I was thinking about that.
And he actually uses a gun
Potentially could, yeah.
when he has to, you know.
We gave him a taser, not a gun.
The dog guy? Really? We taste dogs?
You ever seen that? I've never done it.
Does that work?
Oh, yeah, it works. Just, better on animals than it does on humans.
That's been done.
Is he allowed to or not allowed to carry a firearm? I mean, for animal control? I don't know.
Oh, if we,
I don't even know if he has one or not.
if we said no in here and he's not law enforcement, he could not.
Nope.
I think that's a good idea.
Hmm.
He said that's a good idea.
So is a taser a gun?
No.
I mean, okay, so he could have a taser, but not, okay.
But it's not illegal, a taser's not illegal
Yeah.
like that.
I can show you what it looks like.
No,
Well, I had to get rid of that dog the other day, that blue hitter.
Do you want me to ask for his opinion?
We're stumped because
Okay.
I am very pro Second Amendment. I feel like that's the rights of citizenship, but
Okay.
But also we want to, protect our employees also.
Oh, here's
But I agree with you.
here's another question.
What page?
The next page. Computer and email usage.
I have pretty strong thoughts about that.
Okay,
Do you want to restrict use of social media by employees as it reflects on town activity?
Yes.
I think absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I will ask for him for verbiage on that one too.
Talking about
And I
usage.
don't think any town computers should be used for personal email or such as that. I mean, am I going out there too far? But yes, Shelley says yes.
I mean, I guess that depends on it. The department would supply that person with an email, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because do all of the individual police officers have actual police department emails?
We do now.
Yes, they do.
And I think that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
I think the town,
I'm still working on trying to get a credit card so we can pay for them.
Ed was paying for it,
Mhm.
and as you guys all know, Ed's not here, so we have to figure something else out to pay for it. I don't remember how much it even comes out to be a month, but
American Express was in the end.
I think that, I think town employees should each have a town email address.
how would you dress your fire department? How would you dress your fire department?
We've got a fire department email address.
Hennessey FD@plgi.net.
The individual firemen don't have a town one, but
But like I said, that when you send emails out to them, do you send it out to private people?
send them out text usually. Or through our call-out system that calls us out to respond.
I mean, just on a normal message, we're gonna have a meeting.
Yeah, usually that goes out on our page response to, just like a fire call would.
Okay, that's the last one. The only other thing major change that I think that the handbook had was that, any holidays or sick that, or not holidays, or sick, any holidays that the police department or anybody works, that they get double time for now. Because when they were working before, they just got straight time and then got holiday. So there was really no advantage that they got for working. And so now when they work, they will get double pay, and then they'll get the holiday also. So they will get double pay for working, and then get the holiday also.
Since I called and asked you about it, I said in here, what do we have in here for, like, our pickups getting damaged, wrecked, tore up, our vehicles in general?
There's nothing in here, but we will, I'm checking around to see, what kind of policies and stuff, or if there's some type of, other towns, what kind of policies they have for like daily checks and see what's going on with other towns as far as that.
I mean, like, you know, when you go to work on a project, is all the pickups gotta be right there by the project?
What do you mean right there? I mean, like, I know yesterday when they got done, one went to the street shop to turn on those tires, a couple others went
Like, I mean, like
to
you got a
go
hole
turn
right
on the
here,
towers.
you got a hole right here and all the pickups are all around that hole. See what I'm saying? Instead of parked across the street or,
I mean, they have tools and stuff in the backs of their pickup. So they have to be close to it where they can go grab tools. A lot of times they're cutting pipes on their tailgates. I mean, they're working out of the backs of their vehicles.
yeah, I understand that, but they can't walk 10 feet.
What's he saying? I can't understand.
That's, I mean,
Well, I kind of see the vehicles being another piece of protection with all of them working and not really physically paying attention to their surroundings.
I mean,
I'm just asking questions, you know. I back up and pick up to a wellhead, and the wellhead's over here, and I gotta walk 20 feet to the wellhead with stuff to go to work, you know.
I don't know. I only,
Barbara,
I
what I'm
only
asking
see,
is, how can we, you know, our pickups get beat up, and there's no reason, people ask us, why are their pickups beat up for, you know? And they are beat up, you know, that's what I'm asking.
well, I mean, you take Alyssa's truck, we bought it and it was all, I mean, rusted and everything when we bought it.
Like Town of Enid, when you wreck one of theirs, you gotta fill out a form. It don't mean they're getting fired or nothing, but there's gotta be a reason why they're getting wrecked, you know?
We do that, don't we? Like if, when our patrol cars and stuff get, if there's even scratched or anything like that, we turn it in, fill out a piece of paper.
There probably ought to be a report if a town-owned vehicle's damaged.
I mean, you asked me today and I said I was
That's
gonna.
why I brought it here, but I asked you, so.
I have a couple of things, and one I may have just flat overlooked. It kind of goes along with vehicles as well. Do we require seatbelt usage in town vehicles?
I think at one point I told them, but
I think we ought to have it in here because the state law, I mean, they've got to do it, supposed to do it regardless, but
I know that case where the insurance company wasn't going to pay the claim because the driver didn't have their seatbelt fastened.
really, wow. That's pretty,
What do you say, I can hear, what did you say?
Time to use your seatbelts.
he said they wouldn't want,
The
in an
insurance
accident,
company
they didn't
wouldn't
want to
pay
pay
a
a
claim.
claim because of the seatbelt wasn't in use.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
the other one I had, Tiffany, and it's no big deal, under the chain of command, it's got fire chief and then firemen. I'd like to change that to firefighters, so we don't look sexist.
All you have is an in anyway.
Well, now, that may change something.
Shelley, we can do it.
I can drive it. I don't want to be a firefighter, I just want to drive the fire truck.
But like your seatbelt thing, what about the guys
I
checking
just want
me?
my siren gun.
No, police department won't give me a gun, fire department won't give me a fire truck. I probably don't even know how to work
Most
here.
of the in-town meters
Yeah.
are older, done on golf carts.
Yeah, in town they are.
But they're supposed to be wearing a seatbelt too.
Yeah, they're
Not on
breaking
a-
the law if they're
But-
not.
Not on a golf cart.
Oh, yeah.
No, well,
Supposed to be in state issued vehicles, supposed to be, have seatbelts.
It goes 12 miles per hour. 17 if you push it really good.
There's the rules.
what is the law on that, Aaron?
Golf carts don't have to have a seatbelt.
Golf carts? It's a good
Not on
question,
a-
we're not gonna look into it.
Cause I can tell where the town of Hennessey pulled a razor over and it's gonna give the driver a ticket because he didn't have his seatbelt on.
No, we don't, our
Is-
permits
you
don't
said a
require a
razor?
seatbelt.
Yeah.
Is it equipped with a seatbelt?
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing on that. Well, a lot of golf carts probably aren't equipped with a seatbelt. A razor, most of them.
I've asked Ed before what's the actual law on the razors, you know, because there's different.
And I'll be honest with you, it's also tricky to even know. We had a student this year at the school that was driving a little motorized bike to school, and the only difference is no matter how powerful it is. You can look at the exact same. If it's over 35 cc's, you have to have a driver's license. If it's under, yeah, it's really weird. So all those kind of vague. You just got to dig into it, kind of look into it, see what it says. So I'd look into the golf cart thing. But I think if it's not equipped with it, I don't know how you can enforce it.
But some of your old vehicles, like 60-mile cars, don't come out.
And I think you're exempt in those.
I think you are.
If
Of course.
it was not factory installed, then you're exempt.
I think it's kind of what you're going to, the same thing with the golf carts.
Classic cars.
I'll find a personal one.
Now, are most golf carts like street legal, like go on the highway? No. So I think that might be the difference. Most of those razors and stuff, probably you can make street legal, or they already are street legal to drive on the highway. That's why probably everywhere you're gonna see has to have seatbelts on it.
Most of them, because they jump up in the air and you don't realize.
I don't.
Tiffany, I think you've got a very, very good product here. And I know you're gonna make some more changes that we've been discussing. Are you gonna consider this a living document, or are you gonna close it down, lock it down? or-
No, it'll be a living document.
Okay, all right, that's what moving through time, we'll probably wanna make some more
Oh, yeah.
tweaks on it and stuff.
But it was so old and ancient that we
Yeah.
needed to.
Oh, yeah. I think you guys did great on this, whoever wrote it.
We used the existing one and then just kind of made some drastic changes.
Okay, so we're gonna table that.
Yes.
Okay, item 7, new business. You took resignations off. Any resignations?
I did. I took it off. We're not letting no one resign.
Nobody.
Now that she did.
Okay, new business, any matter not known or which cannot have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting of the agenda. Anything there? Citizens' comments? Councilperson reports?
I asked Tiffany to distribute this, it's on the sales tax, I keep track of that. And it looks like the first 2 months of 2022, page 3, give that one down. The sales tax are going up. The data I have for 2021, I don't have 3 months, but that averaged 104,000 per month. In January of 2022, it was almost 125,000. In February, it's almost 115,000. So it's higher than 2021, which is good news.
That is good news.
That's all I have.
I keep thinking with fuel prices, what they are when they start seeing that turn in production around here as well, so.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Carol, do you have anything?
I just want to reiterate what Tiffany said about our town workers, what the so-called is out there working with the, but I just really appreciate our town employees.
Absolutely.
Cliff, this is off the subject, but the park that the Methodist Church put in is really nice. And I was driving by and I thought the Methodist Church had some kind of function going on at the playground, so I stopped. it just, neighborhood kids were there.
Having a great time.
And they were, each plaything full of kids.
I saw 30 kids there one time, so, yeah.
My grandkids wanted to go play there the other day, but it was so cold.
Monday or Tuesday,
Yeah.
be
David,
good.
you got anything
No,
you'd
sir.
like to?
Very good.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Roll call?
Cliff,
Yes?
Harold,
yes.
David,
Yeah.
Bert, Richard.
Yes.
Okay, this will be a meeting of Hennessey Utility Authority, March 10th, 2022. Roll call, please.
David,
Here.
Cliff,
Here.
Bert,
Here.
Harold,
Here.
Richard.
Here.
Item 2 is consider approval of consent agenda, minutes of the meetings, and approval of claims as follows. February purchase orders, $12,806.24. March purchase orders, $139,519.29. March meter deposit refunds, $360, and the treasurer's report. Any additions or corrections?
If not, I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second,
Roll call?
Cliff,
Yes?
Harold,
yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Citizens' comments. Barbara, you still quiet?
Yes.
Jack, are you quiet? Okay, item 4, other scheduled business. Discuss, accept, approve, deny, reject, and/or take action on the following. Item A is discussion with possible action to approve the employee handbook. That has been tabled. Item B is discussion with possible action to purchase utility trailer for Bobcat excavator.
I forgot to put that in the packet. But I have it on my phone.
Okay,
Bonnie can tell you about it, and then I'll tell you the price.
Make it sound good.
We previously ordered a new excavator. The trailer that we have now will not handle it because it is a bigger excavator. At the time, we did not know that Bobcat is also a dealer in trailers. But it's a bell sheet trailer that will handle the Bobcat excavator. So we can,
is that a gooseneck trailer?
it will be a gooseneck trailer, yes.
Okay.
And it is $13,475.
That doesn't sound bad.
No, it's the cheapest one we've found so far,
Yes.
right?
I have talked to DC Trailer, he's actually got one up there and he priced it to me at about 18,000. So,
And
Like, we have been searching for trailers.
I know. I've heard you two
But
discussing
the
it.
bad thing is this is gonna take about 20 weeks to get it.
How long, how many, didn't you say the
What
Bobcat would be in May?
May 9th, week of May 9th is what they're saying.
So we're gonna
about
have it
9
before
weeks.
we've got a trailer.
Yeah, about 10 weeks.
Can you operate without a trailer till the trailer comes?
We'll have to. Reports are the one we got.
You know, I don't want y'all to do something that's not safe. I mean, if it's not beefy enough to handle that, I don't want somebody,
You know, every once in a while we go rent one out here at King's if we need a bigger one. And we have hauled it on there and Tiffany has seen it when we had the leak out south of town and it don't like it.
oh, you mean rent a bigger
bigger-
excavator?
On that trailer, yeah, it doesn't like it.
And that excavator is not as big as
It's
the one
not
we're.
as big as the one we're getting.
Is it on tracks?
Yes,
So you can't just really drive it around?
it'd take a while. Go very fast.
Have we looked at,
I'm willing to learn.
have we looked at more than those two places?
Oh, yeah, I've called Southwest Trailer, National Trailer, and they're high. They're $16,000, $17,000.
What's the name of the company you're getting it from?
It's going through Bobcat.
Oh, okay.
Bobcat of Oklahoma is the name of the company, isn't it?
Yeah, Bobcat, Oklahoma City.
But Belshie makes it
Right,
out of Tecumseh.
okay.
Maybe we can call in Sweet Talk on.
Oh, I'm all in favor. The only thing I don't like is the delivery date, so. I don't know what we do about that.
Fire truck's ready though.
Yeah,
It's no longer a fire truck.
that's what Bonnie was telling me, they got flatbed put on it to pull the trailer.
What was that about the fire truck?
And the old fire truck that the water department used,
Uh,
they took the fire truck bed off of it and put a flatbed with the gooseneck hitch.
Okay.
So it's all ready.
They spelled Belshie.
We found a place in the city to do that. And it was real reasonable. It was like BELSHE. Here it is.
I have nothing really to look at.
Oh, it's right there.
That was fair.
How much higher is the next expensive trailer?
It's 18,000,
And the Bobcat is how much, 13?
13,400.
Oh, that's quite a difference then.
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is. It's,
That's kind of caught between a
How you
rock and a
spell
hard place.
Belshie?
Carol's got the paperwork.
Oh,
BELSHE.
Check better for you.
And which with Bobcat being the dealer in this trailer, then we'll have, the trailer company will have the specs and know what to build it to, so the excavator will fit and be compatible with that machinery.
We can't rent one from Bobcat till ours get in.
You do whatever,
So
so
we can't rent one from Bobcat till ours get in.
we probably could.
We can ask
Or
him.
ask for a loaner.
Yeah, we
Tell them
probably could.
we will do this purchase if we get a loan.
Or if they can speed up the
Okay, and the
process.
amount of 13, what?
Four seventy-four, that's what she said.
What does it say?
13,475.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that Hennessey Utility Authority purchase a Belshie trailer from Bobcat of Oklahoma City in the amount of $13,475.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Bert,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Harold, Richard.
Yes,
Okay, item C is discussion with possible action to have Farmers Electric install a generator at lift station north of Highway 51.
So Bonnie and I were talking the other day, and he came in and he's, well, we were talking. He came in and we were talking, and he said, you know, we don't have a generator. If we lose power north, that thing's not gonna work. It's like, oh, well, we better do something about that.
Yeah, that'd be a bad situation, wouldn't it? It would.
So,
I'd really thought about that.
yeah,
And the more things we've got going up there, the more,
yes. So I think it's pretty,
and it's $20,000. Where are we getting that money, Krishna?
there's two. A2A.
Okay. 32 kW, 3-phase.
And then we're gonna get, ONG to, run a gas line.
And they'll do that.
Oh, I'm sure, there's gas lines up there, so. So we don't have to install a propane tank.
Yeah, no, it's, natural gas is the way to go on those. Okay.
Is he the only bid we have?
Huh?
Is he the only bid we have for prices?
Caleb usually takes care of all of our generators, so he's usually the one I go for generators. He
We've
like
got-
maintains all of our
Yeah,
generators.
we've got them on a maintenance contract and.
I mean, if you
Which
want me
has
to
been-
go, if you want me to go for other bids, I can, but I feel like this is pretty much I mean, Brian and I were talking about this last week, and I felt like it's a pretty, kind of like an emergency situation if we should lose power up there, especially since we just figured it out.
Got all kinds of jokes in my head for this, but.
Yeah.
And as it grows up there, you're gonna get more and more wastewater coming in, and if the power goes out at any time, it's just gonna run out of the lift station.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the toilet running over on steroids.
Yes.
I think we should do it.
I think so too. I'll make a motion to purchase the generator at $20,752.32 from Farmers Electric.
A second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes,
Item D is discussion, possible action to approve repair of the muffin monster at the lagoons.
It says grinder.
I know, but the quote says muffin, is that the?
Says
Is
sewage
that the
grinder.
name of the, I mean, is that the name of
It
that
actually has a tag on there, it says that, yeah.
muffin monster?
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Whoever named that piece of equipment. Okay, all jokes aside, what's going on?
The grinder is, what it does is all the sewage that comes into the lagoons, it grinds up the solids, rags, just whatever solids that comes through there, grinds them up. It has went down, it's not running. I've talked to Troy, I've talked to David Trainer. They say they can't remember it ever being pulled out and repaired since it's been put in.
I don't ever remember it being pulled out.
So, and I had Caleb come down and pull it out to see what it was gonna take to repair it, and it wasn't good.
Is it, gosh, it seems like a lot of money to me. What, is it the motor that's bad?
You got the motor and then all the components below it with the grinder teeth, that
So
bottom,
is that repairing,
that
Grinder
bottom section.
teeth and all of
All
that, yeah.
The bottom section minus the motor is what's getting replaced.
They've already replaced the motor. They replaced the motor,
It's 4 months ago.
yeah, and so this is replacing the
oh,
rest.
this is the,
Yes, and and I was talking to Caleb and, we did this was put in about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, so.
I know back in the day, they didn't have a grinder. It just dumped into that first cell.
Mhm.
Is a grinder necessary?
This was put in when they did that, when we did this sewer.
Or we're irrigating, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it is.
To me, if you don't irrigate, eventually you'll be dredging the lagoons out.
Oh,
Get the
yeah.
Solids out of it, so.
Oh, you mean if you don't grind?
Yeah.
You're grinding it by hand now, or?
It's just happening right now.
Sorry.
Yeah, Bonnie had to get a few things out of there and
Yeah.
clean it out, and he could tell you some stories and,
Got pictures.
yeah.
I think we probably better fix it.
So then we want to come with a motion, for monster.
You gotta say it without laughing, though, Cliff.
Name it the monster.
I make a motion to approve the repair grinder at the lagoons for $16,795.74.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Harold,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yeah.
Bridget.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't take these pictures.
Okay, discussion with possible action to approve water plant storage tank maintenance program. I know our two large water towers are on a maintenance program. Is this with the same company?
This is with the same company.
Okay.
Alyssa came in and she was like, Tiffany, is the water plant tower on a program? And I was like, I don't know. We linked it up and sure enough, it's not. So I guess back in 2003, or 2001, when they built that, they didn't think about putting it on a maintenance program, they just, built it. So it has just been out there operating, and I didn't, give you guys pictures of the inside, that I can email them out, but they're pretty bad. It needs a lot of, it needs to be drained, it needs to be cleaned, sandblasted, it needs to be.
It needs a lot of TLC.
Yes, it does. So we need to get it on a,
Wait a minute, it wasn't good. You good? I will.
it needs to be put on the program. And I will tell you, if you look on the very back page, they gave us a 10-year, plan. And and this is to pay for,
Call from 2416.
you're getting a call, that's the police department.
Police department.
Maybe I ought to take it. I'm sorry. What? No, I'm in a town board meeting. That's okay. Okay. Well, no, I don't know. Sorry.
So what they did, they asked me how long, because they take the total of, if you notice the first year, they're doing an exterior and interior renovation and repairs. So they're gonna do everything that they seen was wrong with that, which I think one is even replacing a beam. And they're gonna do that in year one, and then they're gonna do everything, visual inspection, emergency service, washout, visual, washout, visual, washout, visual, washout, all year. But that first year, it costs quite a bit that first year, so they have taken that amount and they have spread it out over the 10 years. And so that's why it costs so much. The first 5 years?
First 5, yeah.
I asked them to spread that out over the first 5 years of what it costs on the first year. And then after that, it's yearly. So, that's why it costs so much the first 5 years. Or we could pay it looks like it's about 20,000 every 5 years, so that would be 100, it's probably gonna cost like 130,000 for the first year for their work, probably anywhere from 120 to 150,000 for the work they're gonna do this year. And so, we could pay that out, but that would be, that would really go into our fund balance. So I think it would be good to spread it out over the 5 years. But that's work that really needs to be done.
I know the town got on the maintenance program with the 2 big water towers several years ago, I wasn't on the board, but I remember it, and there was some major, very costly issues that, at that time, they didn't want to get into ever again, so that's why they put it on maintenance. And, I don't remember what the costs were at that time, but
I would think it was a good suggestion to spread it out over 5 years.
there again, I think it's something we need to do. We gotta maintain it, and we gotta keep it functional.
When we start maintenance on our doing the other work on all the other stuff.
They're supposed to start in April. The supplies, the actual product to do it is supposed to be here in April.
When will they start on this?
I think as soon as we sign the agreement, did they say when they would come?
It would probably be feasible when they start on that RO.
Yeah, I think that's when we talked about,
to
because
do
they're
that
gonna
and
have
Get
to,
that tank done.
yeah,
We'll have it shut down anyway.
because we're gonna bypass, the plant for, I think, 6 weeks when they do the RO. And so,
Our raw water's good.
good during that month, and so, yeah. We're gonna do a lot of testing too, when we do that.
So is there any other maintenance that we gotta do while we're down?
What do you mean?
So we're working on the ROs, but is there any valves or anything like that that's gotta be changed out while we're down, or?
I don't know of any.
I mean, the RO deal and this is about 600, almost 700,000 we don't spend. on that thing.
Well, we'll spend 30,000 this year.
Yeah, but so is that though.
Oh, yeah.
We're still spending 120,000 just to.
I mean, but this right here is from, maintenance not being done
That's the
20
same
years
way,
ago.
that's the same way with the RO was,
Mhm.
it's caused by maintenance not done years ago.
But we can say that with the water lines too, that we've been fixing lately too.
And the sewer.
And the sewer. But I think that's just how, I think that's just how life
I'm just
goes.
asking, is there anything else inside that plant that we need to look at while we got it down?
Right now, they've been priming and painting the other RO, trying to get it in better shape, so we don't run into any more problems with the one, that's gonna stay there. But trying to get it in better shape.
Like when Doug was here, he took those filters out, or whatever you wanna call them, every year and cleaned them. Do we do that still, or?
I don't know that he cleaned them. I think you talk about the RO filters.
I think they replace them.
Replace them.
No, he said he took them out every year and cleaned them,
I don't think you can clean those.
so you can power wash them off, kinda like blowing out an air filter.
The sand filters maybe, but not the RO filters.
Aero membranes themselves.
The membranes,
Yeah. There may be a pre-filter that clean. I don't know.
My brother-in-law, he's the one that worked
Yeah.
at the plant. He told me they took the filters out every year and cleaned them.
He was working for the company that the city contracted with when they built the
Don't we put a
plants.
price on that?
Because he worked for Crescent when I was
Probably.
at Crescent.
So there's not a total.
Well, I think we could just say enter into maintenance agreement with Suez Advanced Solutions for tank at the water plant.
I make a motion to approve the water plant storage tank maintenance program from the Sioux Advanced Solutions.
So that's,
Second.
roll call?
Cliff,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Discuss progress of sewer line at the Osborne Edition.
I just wanted you guys to know that the sewer line was delivered yesterday. Was it yesterday or today? Yesterday? Day before. And, the manholes should be there within about 10 days. And, so we're gonna try to get started on the 21st. Start digging. So, and it should take 2-3 weeks. So, just so you guys know a little bit. Been corresponding with the engineers, they're gonna have somebody out there to help us.
Good.
And then I've been corresponding with Jay too, so. You guys have a little bit of update.
He the one that cleaned the back edge of that off?
Yeah.
That gonna be good enough?
I sent them over there and they thought it was, so.
Okay, new business. Barb, Jack, citizens' comments. Councilperson's reports, Dave?
I'm good, sir.
I'm good. Harold?
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Cliff,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bert,
Yes.
I just knew you were gonna say no on your first one.
I should have, that could have been my first no.